This is Shweta Rani, and I'm here today to present a brief summary of The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. So the play starts with one of the most important character named Antonio. In the beginning of the play, Antonio is very sad, and his friends Salarino and Salino is also present there, trying to hunt out the reason behind his sadness. And in that process, one of his friends imagines that Antonio must be sad because of his merchandise, his business, because he is the greatest merchant of Venice, a reputed, a renowned, a famous merchant of Venice. But Antonio denies from the fact. At the same time, we are introduced with another character named Bassanio, who is Antonio's best friend. Bassanio, who leads a lavish life by borrowing money. He is a spendthrift, and again he is in need of some money in order to finance his journey to Belmont. He wants to go to Belmont in order to marry a young lady named Portia. But unfortunately, this time Antonio doesn't have ready cash in his hand. Still, he asks Bassanio that he can go anywhere in Venice and can ask money from anyone on Antonio's credit. That means Bassanio can borrow money from anyone and Antonio will repay him back. Unfortunately, Bassanio had to borrow money from Antonio's greatest enemy, Shylock. Antonio and Shylock, they are sworn enemies. Antonio hates Shylock because of his anti-Jewish mentality. Antonio is a Christian and Shylock is a Jew. Anyway, Bassanio borrows money from Shylock and the total amount is 3,000 ducats. 3,000 ducats for 3 months. Ducats means Venetian gold coins. Antonio signs a bond according to which if he fails to return back 3,000 ducats within 3 months, Shylock will be liable to take 1 pound of flesh from any part of his body. And later on, unfortunately, Antonio loses all his ships and he becomes victim of Shylock's revenge. Meanwhile, Bassanio, after borrowing money from Shylock, goes to Belmont and marries Portia. For marrying Portia again, there was a condition. Portia, who was the mistress of heavenly beauty as well as intelligence, was the only heiress of her father. Before her father's death, he had devised a plan, that is lottery of caskets, according to which there were 3 caskets made up of gold, silver and lead, and anyone who selects the right casket with Portia's portrait will be the only liable person to marry Portia. Many of the suitors came with that intention from different parts of the world to marry Portia, but some of them returned back without participating, or some of them participated, failed, and returned back without marrying Portia. Now, here the question is, when some of the participants, some of the suitors, some of the viewers came from different parts of the world with the intention of marrying Portia, then why didn't they take part in lottery of casket? Because again, there were 3 strict conditions. The conditions were, one who selects wrong casket will never marry any lady throughout his life. Condition number 2, one who selects wrong casket will leave the place then and there without uttering, without arguing anything. And condition number three, he will never reveal the secret of caskets. Anyway, Bassanio was able to select the right casket and married Portia. But before they would have started celebrating, Bassanio receives a message from Venice that his best friend Antonio is in trouble because he has lost all his ships, and now Shylock is ready to take 1 pound of flesh from Antonio's body that is near from his chest, because of which Antonio will certainly die. So, just after his marriage, Bassanio again rushed back to Venice in order to help his friend. Behind that, Portia, regarding whom I already told you that one was one of the most beautiful as well as intelligent lady, also devised a plan to save her husband's best friend. She and her one of the most loyal maid named Nerissa disguised themselves as a lawyer and clerk. Means Portia disguised herself as a lawyer and Nerissa, her maid, Portia's maid, disguised herself as a clerk. They went back to Venice in the form of lawyer and clerk, I told you, fought the case and turned the whole situation in favor of Antonio, which was actually totally against Antonio in the beginning in the strict court of Venice. Portia asked for the bond to be shown in the court of Venice, in which it was clearly written that Antonio is only liable to pay 1 pound of flesh. So she asks Shylock that at the time of taking 1 pound of flesh, he is not allowed to drop even a single jot of blood, which is actually not at all possible. So we can say that Shylock was himself trapped in his fatal plan, fatal plotting actually. So at the end, Portia turned the whole situation upside down. Shylock is trapped and he was charged for the attempt to murder, directly or indirectly, against a respectable Venetian citizen, that is Antonio. As a result, it was announced that all his property will be confiscated and will be divided into two halves. One half for court's treasury and another half for the victim, that is Antonio itself. At the same time, Shylock was also asked to convert into a Christian. At the end, we will see that the whole plays, which was totally tragic throughout, turns to be happy ending. Okay, the whole play, which was very complex throughout, becomes very smooth and simple and ends happily just because of Portia. So the central characters of the drama, we can say, are Antonio, Portia, Shylock of course, and Bassanio. Other than that, there are again many sub-characters and subplots which we will discuss in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye, children.